is a press conference addressed by the NLC TUC. Caption is National Minimum Wage Negotiation. Government presents wage reduction. The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria expressed this profound disappointment as negotiations the tripartite minimum wage resumed today will reach an unfortunate impasse as a result of the apparent seriousness of the government to engage in reasonable negotiation with Nigerian workers, despite NS efforts to reach an equitable agreement. The less than reasonable action of the government and the organized private sector has led to a breakdown in negotiations. The government's proposal of a paltry 48,000 naira as the minimum wage does not only insult the sensibilities of Nigerian workers, but also falls significantly short of meeting our needs and aspirations. In contrast, organized private sector proposed an initial offer of 54,000. Though it is worth noting that even the least paid workers in the private sectors receive 78,000 naira. As clearly stated by the organized private sector, highlighting the stark disparity between the proposed minimum wage and prevailing standards, further demonstrating the unwillingness of the employers and government to faithfully negotiate a fair national minimum wage for workers in Nigeria. Furthermore, the government's failure to provide any substantiated data to support their offer exacerbates the situation. This lack of transparency and good faith undermines the credibility of the negotiation process and erodes trust between the parties involved. As representatives of Nigerian workers, we cannot in good conscience accept a wage proposal that will result in a reduction in income of federal level workers who are already receiving 30,000 naira as mandated by law, augmented by President Buhari's 40% peculiar allowance of 12,000 and the 35,000 naira wage award, totaling 77,000 naira only. Such a regressive step would undermine the economic well-being of workers and their families and is unacceptable in a national minimum wage fixing process. Let me allow my colleague from the TUC to take up the remaining points.
The Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress of Nigeria have taken a decision to walk out of the negotiation process. We remain committed and advocating for the right of workers and continue to engage in reasonable dialogue with the government if they have shown serious commitment to find a fair and sustainable resolution in this impasse. We call upon the government to reconsider its position and come to negotiation table with clear hand that reflects the true value of the contributions made by Nigerian workers to the nation's development and objective of socioeconomic realities that confront not just Nigerian workers, but Nigerians as a whole. Today, as a result of these policies of the federal government, a lot of Nigerian workers and the masses in general are affected by the deliberate policies inflictment of the hardship on Nigerian workers. Together in this reasonable dialogue, we can work to give Nigerian workers a 615,000 minimum wage as proposed by NLC and TUC on the basis of evidence and data. This will be in keeping with the pledge of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to ensure that a living wage is paid for Nigerian workers. Comrade, thank you very much.
Negotiation process that doesn't have these ingredients. Even if you look at your pay slip, you see the one that is transport allowance. Then can you break it down? There was lack of seriousness. The first instance, at the commencement of this talk, the Minister of Finance had come and left. The Minister of Budget had come and left. The Minister of Labour was not there. The head of service came and left. The governors that were supposed, apart from Soludo that joined on Zoom, and the state and Niger State Deputy Governor came. Soludo joined us on Zoom, but was busy defending his state that they are not paying the old minimum wage, because the report by the finance minister showed that Anambra is among the states that are not paying the old minimum wage. So he was busy all the way, defending his state. So, and was presenting himself as governor of Anambra State instead of representing the governor's forum. So that was what we saw today. There was not anybody to do. Just like to explain. Organized private sector explained that nobody is receiving less than 78,000 from the organized private sector. But they made proposal of 54. And from the statistics you have seen, you saw that if you add 40% salary increase that Buhari added, and the wage award, that people at that bracket were already at 77. And somebody is presenting 48. So actually they called us for wage reduction, which was not the intent of this committee in the first instance. So we felt we should just give you this breakdown.
And if you look at the history of the national minimum wage negotiation, you'll find out that even in a very worst strategic economy that was not, you'll find out that government are very considerate in their presentation. Even when there was no fuel subsidy removal, you'll find out that the President Buhari-led administration was very considerate. And for them to have made so much from the removal of fuel subsidy, only to come and invite us to and then reduce the wage. I mean, we feel that what the government have, they have just been paying lip service to the well-being of Nigerian workers and Nigerian engineers. Don't also forget, without the pressure from the organized labor, TUC and NLC, they will have successfully implemented the cyber security levy, and that will have also been impoverishing the masses. And as we speak, you are aware that a few days ago we did a protest on increase of tariffs, and someone is coming, and government having in mind to give us 48,000 for the workers. I mean, it therefore means that all what government is telling us, there's a lot of mistrust, and that trust deficit has not come.
So what's the next line of action?
Well, we have a standing ultimatum to the end of the month. I think every Nigeria is aware.
Solidarity, no?
Yes.
So are you saying that aside from 615,000, are you not going to go below this?
The 615,000 we presented to them to 40 to tell us that the 40,000 you are asking for housing, you can get a house somewhere that is 20,000. And we are talking of negotiation. And it's usually the duty of labor to present it. The 500 naira a meal per person we presented. We expected them to say you can go to Mama Put and get it for 200 or 300, because that's negotiation. You don't just from their head and say we pay you 20 naira. So that we look for the Mama Put joint in Nigeria, where you can get, even without meat, a meal at 200 or 300. That would have initiated negotiation. But when people are not ready to initiate negotiation, they say take this. So what do you now want? Okay, you want us to now say there will be no medical allowance, or there will be no housing, or there will be no transport. So they have not even provided the basis. You just say 48, and we say what is this 48 for? and they are not ready to talk. So you can see that there is no seriousness, or they have not done their homework. Rather, Governor Soludo is busy harassing some governors that say they will start even paying 70 when 70 is not our demand. Why should they say it?
And even urge them to take a decision.
So right now, the Governors Forum, they are meeting, probably to further impoverish Nigerian workers. But they have not said that their revenue, since the removal of subsidy, has almost tripled. They will not come to say that, but just to reduce the wage we are in. So that's the situation we have found ourselves.
Back to our question, what's the next line?
But I have answered you. We have a standing ultimatum that expires the month end. So, sorry?
Month
end. You know, and if you check it from today, it's about 2 weeks. And then, between now and then, all organs will meet and give further directive. But they have all the avenue to show much seriousness. Is nobody comes with a wage of take 20,000. It's an indictment to the Nigerian state that they don't have the statistics on how to negotiate wage. As we talk now, the Bureau of Statistics in Nigeria is saying that a meal is 900. Why we make proposal for 500? That's a government agency. So these are things that we expect them to confront us with. You know, raw statistics so that we can talk. So if the Bureau of Statistics says you have 900, and from our data what we have presented is 500, we expect government to say no. The Bureau of Statistics, which is a government agency, is lying. So we enter into real negotiation and not take this. You know, it has never happened anywhere in the world. Without any variable. You don't just call a figure. It's like Labour coming now to say pure 600. We didn't say whether it is for transport or whatever. They'll be saying, well, these guys don't know their left from their right. You have to explain how you arrive at what you are demanding for. Is it based on inflation? Is it based on foreign exchange? Is it based on interest rates? All these variables you have to say, but you can't see a government with all the paraphernalia, all the agencies, you know, not telling you how a wage was arrived at. Just take what it. So I think maybe they should go back to drawing board. You know, and of course, you know, between now and the end of the month, is enough time.
Until victory, people united can never be defeated.